hello, my lovelies. All right, let's talk about this week. We are in December. I haven't got my little mini tree up because I've got too many things, like too many big bottles to talk about today. So it's Christmas though, as far as I'm concerned. It's December. We are in Christmas mode. My little tacky tree is up and I'm feeling quite festive. So I have a few things here that I actually do find slightly festive, to be honest, and kind of yummy and sweet. It's been chilly, it's been windy, it's been rainy. Classic British December weather, which is just kind of a bit miserable. Occasionally a little bit of sunshine, but generally a bit miserable. I've got my hair in like this really top bun while it's wet, and I'm really struggling to keep this microphone thing on my head. So look, sorry if my voice keeps going in and out. Let's try and fix that now. We're going to start with, as we did a couple of weeks ago, or maybe even last week, I don't even remember, to be honest. Something that I have forever been saying I don't like, because I really didn't used to like this, but when I tried Choco Musk, because I used to put this in the same kind of category, because I do think there's actually something slightly similar about the vanilla and the way this dries down. But I didn't used to like this perfume, and I thought after I liked Choco Musk, I want to try this again. I got myself a little set from Amazon because I didn't really want to buy a massive bottle of this, just in case I didn't like it. Because I have had this in my collection before my YouTube channel, and I decluttered it. But let's talk about the infamous pink sugar. So look, it was so cute. I got this little 3-pack of 30 mils, and it was this one, the blueberry blast and the creamy sunshine, because I wanted to try all of those anyway. I really like blueberry. We'll talk about that later. But obviously the original pink sugar is the one I wanted to start off with in terms of wearing, and I really enjoyed wearing this. I have got over the hurdle of the sweetness of this and the type of vanilla that's in it. So let's get the notes up and then we can discuss this further. So pink sugar is in my collection to stay, even though you'll have heard me, if you've been with me for ages, saying so many times, this is kind of that pink sugary kind of smell that I don't like. As it turns out, tried it again, really enjoyed it. So we've got top notes of raspberry, orange, bergamot and fig. Middle notes of cotton candy, licorice, strawberry, red berries and lily of the valley. Lily of the Valerie? Oh, hello. No, Lily of the Valley. Base notes of caramel, vanilla, musk, tonka bean and sandalwood. So the issue that I used to have with this is that the vanilla with the kind of burnt cotton candy and the caramelly smell, and now I smell it again, probably also some of that strawberry. I just found it really sickly and I didn't like it. I actually feel like the vanilla here is very similar to Choco Musk. Like when this dried down, I was really thinking to myself, it's kind of reminding me of the slightly spicy ambery vanilla that I get in Choco Musk. But I mean, the thing is, I thought I'd try this again because I was like, if I like Choco Musk nowadays, and I love Lolita Lempicka, which is a very sweet, syrupy, fruity licorice perfume, then I really should try pink sugar again, because everything would tell me that I probably will like this. Now, for me personally, I find that this is very licoricey, which I love. You do get a kind of slightly burnt cotton candy, which I now kind of enjoyed. But I get so much strawberry in this perfume. This smells like a strawberry licorice vanilla perfume to me, with that sugary burnt cotton candy kind of smell. But yeah, I mean, it's voted as the raspberry being slightly higher than the strawberry, but to me this smells like strawberries. But I still enjoyed it. I mean, I think if I wore this on the wrong day, I would probably find it slightly sickly, because it actually lasts for a really long time. Super affordable, really quite strong, cozy in this really cold weather. And I know someone commented and said that they've been wearing pink sugar loads during the winter months, and I'm like, totally get it. I totally get it. So yeah, I think this is lovely. I've changed my mind about it. I will do a review, because I actually now have 4 full bottles of different flankers of this, with 3 flankers, and I've got a little sample of another flanker which I just chucked in when I was doing Fragrance X order. So I will make a proper video of the pink sugar perfumes. And yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed wearing this. It was really cozy. I did wear it to work. And I have heard a number of times that this is like a drag queen favorite that really makes me smile. I can just imagine a load of drag queens getting changed and all smelling like pink sugar. I think that's really fun. Yeah, that was pink sugar. Oh, I've changed. I've changed. But this is the perfect time of year for Choco Musk and pink sugar. And then on another day at work, I was craving it, and it was a cold day, but it wasn't like mega cold. So instead of wearing my Pure Poison elixir, I wore my very British dupe of Pure Poison, which I don't think you can get outside of the UK, unfortunately. It's called Mamba Juice. This is from Saffron, London. I actually really like the bottle, but the lid is kind of knackered and broken already. And obviously this is not the most beautiful thing, but it's so cheap. It's like under a tenner for this massive thing, and it smells amazing. It's quite strong, lasts a long time. This is one that I've had compliments on. So yeah, I can't tell you the notes that Saffron London say are in this perfume because they don't tell you what's in it. I just bought this to see whether it might be a Pure Poison dupe, and I absolutely fell in love with it. In fact, I love Pure Poison because I bought this perfume. And that's another perfume that when I smelt it in store, I found it a little bit screechy, a little bit too jasmine heavy. I wasn't really getting the kind of creaminess that I get in this one. And I have a sample now of the modern version, which is I like it much better now. I'm much better with orange blossom and gardenia and jasmine than I used to be. So, but this is like so musky and kind of thick and slightly creamy floral. It's just clean, but in like a really grown up way. It doesn't smell like laundry. I do sometimes think it has a little bit of a vibe of a Zoflora that I used to have, but I think the Zoflora was trying to smell like Pure Poison, if that makes sense. So I haven't bought that Zoflora again just because I was like, okay, I don't really need my cleaning products to smell like a beautiful perfume I have because I don't want it to put me off this. But anyway, I massively digress. So top notes here are jasmine, orange, bergamot and Sicilian mandarin. Middle notes gardenia and orange blossom. Base notes sandalwood, white amber, cedar and musk. White musk specifically. And this is an absolute classic from Dominic Ropion with Olivia Polge, is it? And Carlos Benem. I'm terrible at pronouncing names. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I mean, Dominic Ropion has made a few other perfumes that I think smell a little bit like this. And he's really good, I think, with kind of creamy jasmine notes and creamy musky jasmine notes. This smells like a late 90s, early 2000s perfume, and it was launched in 2004. I would say you're probably going to love Pure Poison if you like things like 212 by Carolina Herrera. If you like things like Noah, it has that kind of texture to it, but it really smells like a chic, clean woman. That's not laundry-ish. It's not really soapy so much as it's somewhere between soapy and lotiony. Like if it was maybe a couple more steps into lotiony, or it was sweeter than it is, I think I wouldn't love it. But yeah, I mean, I really love this Mamba Juice. I love this version of this. So yeah, if you can get hold of it, definitely worth trying because it's such a bargain. Let me know actually, guys, if there's anyone who's been with me for a while since I started talking about this. Let me know if you've bought this and if you like it and how it compares to Pure Poison or other dupes that you've got. Right, so we've got a whole tale to tell here. Let's go. Let me just get these in the right order. So I'm going to start with this. Now, I have made a haul video with this, but I have a feeling I've set this up to come up in my frugal January videos because I'm trying to keep January as a month where all of my Wednesday videos are about extremely affordable, if not like cheapy perfumes, because everyone's always poor in January. It's also my birthday month, so I'm just celebrating by celebrating cheaper perfumes. And this is in that haul, so you won't have seen it yet. But I have had it for a little while. This, gotta get the lid back on, is from Fragrance World and it's called Royale. So Royale is, oh, you can't even see that. Hang on, let me just, there we go. Can you see what it is? Oh, it's not very clear, is it? Royale. There we go. There we go. Okay, we've got it. We've got it. This is the Fragrance World dupe of Lira. You can probably tell this is like a 50 ml bottle. I think that 100 ml bottles, or at least used to look like this. I don't know if they still do. I mean, that's really cool. The box for it is so cool, and I really like this bottle. But obviously, I'm always going to, if I'm just blind buying it, I'm always going to go for the cheapy version. I think this was a round about five, but somewhere between £5 and £10 for a 50 ml. A dupe of Lira. So I just wanted to try this one. I wanted to see what it was like. I actually think this is a really nice dupe of Lira. I genuinely do. I think it's really good value. If you love Lira, I think that this would be a really good thing to try. So the notes listed for this are blood orange, bergamot, and lavender in the top, mid notes of licorice, cinnamon, jasmine, base notes vanilla, caramel, and musk. So I was testing this out against one that the lovely Danielle got me. So I requested this one. When Danielle came over to London, she asked if there was anything that I couldn't get in the UK that she could get hold of for me in the US, and everything that I asked to try was lavender based or at least had some kind of lavender note in it. And one of them was this one, just because I'd seen this and I thought this looked kind of interesting. So this is Sapphire Avri from Aroma Concepts. She dragged this massive bottle all the way across for me because she's wonderful. And then look at this beast. It's a beast. Absolutely huge. So this is also a dupe of Lira, but this is a dupe of Lira that has a blueberry note in it. So basically I was comparing them because I was like, I don't need to keep both of these. And to be honest, like, so my instinct, because this was a gift from the beautiful Danielle, obviously my instinct would be to keep this one just because she gave it to me, but my instinct to keep this one would be because this takes up less space. And in a massive collection, I'm not going to get through 100 ml. Unfortunately, they don't do smaller versions of these. You can only get them in massive bottles. But let me just read the notes and then we can discuss. So Sapphire Avri is blood orange and blueberry in the top, mid notes cinnamon, licorice, jasmine, base notes vanilla and caramel and musk. But they both smell almost identical, except that this has a kind of syrupy berry smell in it. I think when you first spray this, you can tell that it's blueberry, but the more it dries down, the more it just has a kind of, like I said, like that sweet berry tone to it. And so when I was comparing the two, my feeling was that this one smelled a little bit more generic because the syrupy berry stopped the tartness of the blood orange and the citrus from shining through quite as much. They are both very similar though. They both really do smell like Lira. And so I was kind of trying to decide between them, and I was like, I think, to be fair, and I have in the past, I've checked in with Danielle that she won't be furious if I'm going to pass on something that she gave me because, you know, just respectfully, I want to make sure I'm not upsetting anyone. But I think I'm probably going to pass this on. And then I was thinking, well, I'll keep this one because it's smaller. But then the longer I wore it, the more I thought, it's just a bit sickly. I think I feel like this about Lira in general. When I first put it on, I kind of like Lira. I think it's quite pretty. It's got this kind of lemony, slightly spicy cake smell about it. Like almost, it's going to sound gross, but like a wet cake. You know when you have a cake and you make all the holes and you pour like lemon syrup into it? If you imagine that, but with like a little bit of kind of aromatics and a little bit of spice. But then I started to think to myself, it is very similar also to Elder Lolita. So that's Elder Lolita from Lolita Lempicka. And I have a Perfume Parlour little, I don't know what it is, like whether it's like a 15 ml or something, a 10 or a 15 ml, the dupe from Perfume Parlour of Elder Lolita. And although I do think Lira and Elder Lolita smell super, super, super similar, I just find Elder Lolita to be more interesting. It has bitter orange, bergamot, cinnamon, immortelle, musk, vanilla, tonka bean and sandalwood. There's something about the immortelle and what they don't list, but I think might be a little bit of a kind of salty sea note maybe. that just makes it a little bit easier for me to wear. This I really enjoy for a couple of hours, and then it just becomes a bit cloying and a bit sickly to me because it gets a little bit, it's almost like it's a little bit flat, like it loses the zinginess and the spices are just a bit drowned by the sweetness. And I just didn't really love wearing either of these. So what I did once they'd calmed down, oh God, I pulled out my Far from And Fragrances, and I literally, I mean, if you follow me on Instagram, you would have probably seen this. I was wearing this, and all I could think was, I don't need any really other citrusy gourmands, because this is the best one I've ever smelt. I've tested so many citrusy gourmands. Like, I mean, that D&G Devotion is disgusting. I think it smells like cleaning products and poison. Bake from Acro literally smells like Lemsip to me. That's another one that's full of the aroma chemicals that just are not up my street. They don't work for me. I did not get anything that was like any kind of lemony cakey thing from that. I've smelt some dupes of things. I've smelt some little things from other houses, and obviously I've smelt Lera and the dupes. And I just, do you know what I mean? I think Sabrina Carpenter's just coming out with a new Sweet Tooth, which was, it's like in a really cool yellow bottle. And all I could think was, please God, let that be like white chocolate and banana or something. Like, give me a beautiful, affordable banana perfume. But no, it's another lemon. It's going to be another lemon gourmand, and I just like, I don't need any. I don't need any. So I figured what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to declutter both of these, and I'm just going to keep my little mini dupe of Elder Lolita for when I want the kind of slightly more cakey, unusual version. And well, which is also orange, like it's an orange citrus, but to be honest, it still smells a bit lemony to me. But man, Far, oh my God, this is like a key lime pie, like a lemon and lime cheesecake kind of smell, without having too much of that biscuity smell. This is the bottle of the Eau de Toilette. I have a 10ml of the Eau de Parfum, which is what I started off with, and then I asked my husband to get me a big bottle of the EDT. I actually think the EDT is just as good, and oh my God, it's so perfect. So let me just read you the notes. So this is kaffir, lime and yuzu in the top, mid notes of mandarin orange labdanum, base notes of biscuit. It doesn't list like vanilla or anything creamy, but this definitely smells a bit creamy and vanillic to me. It is the absolute perfect combination of sharp and acidic citruses with a sherbety sugariness, and then a creamy, slightly vanillic dry down. I am obsessed. I could not believe how delicious this was, because I haven't worn it for a little while. And it's just the best. It's the best citrus gourmand you're going to find. You're not going to find anything as good as this. You're never going to find anything that smells as natural as this. It's just, that is a real love of mine, actually. Like, it's not necessary. I don't necessarily always get the urge to wear lemon gourmands, but my God, Far is so fantastic. What a beautiful perfume. It's the one I really kind of lost my mind over. That and Frank, I lost my mind over when I had the sample set, when I bought the sample set. And honestly, like, you can get, I think they're about 40 quid for the Eau de Parfum 10ml. You can't get a 10ml of the Eau de Toilette, which is a bit of a shame, because it would make it a little bit more affordable for people. But I think these bottles of the Eau de Toilette, the 50ml, I think, it's the biggest you can get. So, shush. My Alexa's talking to me. Yeah, so what was I even saying? Oh yeah, I think these are relatively expensive, to be honest. Like, the most affordable way to get hold of this is to get the 10ml of the Eau de Parfum, which is 40. But the 50ml of the Eau de Toilette, I think, is like 60 something, maybe just under 70. But in my humble opinion, this is so worth it. And I am so happy. I love that. It's such a good perfume. Anyway, from that one to Lush. So I wore my grape soda. I love grape soda. I love this. Every time I open my cupboard that has the big, like any like really big bottles that I can't put in my display, They live in a certain cupboard where I have my body sprays. I've got like my big bottle of Indie. I've got all of my Lush body sprays. They're all in a cupboard. When I open it, this is what I can smell. I can always smell grape soda. This lasts forever. It's strong. It's beautiful. It smells like a flat grape soda. It really does. It's amazing. I love it. It always makes me smile. Wearing it around the house. I have worn it out, but there's just something about wearing it around the house. Also, because to be honest, then anything I touch in my house smells like grape soda. And like I said, I don't really want my cleaning products to smell like it, but I do quite often use these as room sprays or fabric sprays. And I mean, not this one because it's too precious to me, but other ones I do use. So for instance, I've got the Christmassy one that's like spicy. Cinders, I think it's called. That one I don't actually wear. There's something in it that I find it's maybe too cinnamony and too clovey or something, but I use it as a room spray and it's lovely. Although saying that, now I've got choco musk and things like that, maybe I could like layer it over something much sweeter and see how I feel. You'll see something in a minute that I just bought that's quite sweet, so I wonder if I might try those two together, Cinders and spoiler alert, Snowcake. So grape soda, I think they say grapes, juniper berry and orange oil, and I don't know what else to say. If you know what grape soda smells like, you know what this smells like. It's amazing. I love it. So, and I also wore my favourite, of course, a day when I needed comfort. It was hideous outside. I had to go out in the absolutely pissing it down rain. It was gross. That's the worst thing about having to do any form of commute to work, or even having to go out your front door, especially because my husband is blessed with being able to work from home a lot. So like he gets to stay indoors with the heating on, and he's got like the little lamp on in the living room and it's all nice and cozy, and I have to get my umbrella out and put my boots on and go outside and get rained on. And in times like that, sorry guys, you know what it is. I always have to wear it. I wear them a lot. Mon Guerlain, I wore the original this week because again, it was, well, they told me it was going to be mild, but then it was so windy. It was actually really cold. I easily could have worn the intense, but I mean, this just works so well pretty much every time, all time of year except for when it's very hot. I think Mon Guerlain is good for me. Creamy, lavender, vanilla and tonka. That's what's going on here. There's also a kind of sweet fruitiness here that I think must come from the bergamot, but it almost smells a little bit more complex than just being bergamot. But yeah, anyway, it's bergamot in the notes. Lavender, bergamot in the top, mid notes of iris, jasmine, sambac and rose, base notes Tahitian vanilla, coumarin, Australian sandalwood, licorice, benzoin and patchouli. I have accidentally worn, I'm going to count in a minute, so many perfumes with licorice in, not deliberate, but this is warm, it's cozy, it's delicious. If you want an affordable alternative to this, it doesn't smell the same. I think it smells more like the Mon Guerlain Floral, personally, than this, but Guess Seductive Noir is a beautiful perfume. I have a little mini of that one. It doesn't have the licorice, so it doesn't have the same spicy feel, and it has more vanilla and less tonka. Which I think is why it smells more like the floral version. But it's lovely. It's really pretty. That's a really good perfume as well. But this is a love. It's maybe one of the loves of my life when it comes to perfume. So then, I just shut it down and I didn't mean to. I'm sorry if I've talked about this loads. It just so happens that I had my haul video go up shortly before my Christmas video that this was in, and then I just wore it this week because I did say I was excited to wear it for the festive season. Can't really smell it from the, hang on, let me just spray this out. Woo! Oh, that's fun. So this is Pasha Psychedelia, I think it's called, or Psychedelia. Don't know how to pronounce it. It's psychedelic, but it's not spelt in a normal way. Woo, it's strong now I sprayed that out. Good gosh. This is another warm spicy, but it's also quite fruity and it has a sheer quality to it. Even though, like I said, it's actually, because it's so spicy, it smells quite strong. It's a little bit woody. It doesn't list wood, but what this says is top notes of licorice, grapefruit and apple, middle notes of spices and jasmine, sambac, base notes caramel and amber. So there is a sweetness to it. To me, this smells almost identical to La Belle Zerici What does it say here? Delista Spices, that's Spicy Delight, which is a perfume. I still have a little bit of my bottle. I still have this beautiful bottle in my collection, all hidden away, just, for memories, to be honest. But it smells so much like it. It makes me so happy. And in La Belle Cerise, it was cinnamon, cardamom, vanilla, orange apple, grapefruit. So very similar notes. Also has cedarwood. I feel like probably Psychedelic also has cedarwood in, because there is a slight woody feel, but it's not like bitter. As I said, so let's see. Licorice. 5 licorice perfumes this week. I didn't do that intentionally. I would say licorice, I can tell it's in here. It's a little bit softer in here. I don't know that you would know it was licorice particularly in here. And this is just generally spicy. I mean, I can recognize... Oh, hiccups. Ooh, excuse me. I can recognise that there's some licorice in here, but I'd have to kind of specifically look for it. It just generally smells a bit spicy. So, I mean, this is just really fun. I think it smells super unisex. I think anyone could wear this easily. What's it? Oh, let me just have a look. It's compared to a Tat Libre d'Orange Remarkable People. Now, that's not one that I've smelt. But if it smells anything like this, then it's probably lovely. And again, definitely unisex. And the top comparison for that one from Remarkable People, also Spicy Delight from Nina Ricci. I think this is a really good perfume if you like light, spicy perfumes. If you don't like the kind of hardcore things like Obsession, like really heavy, hardcore spices, if you don't like vintage spicy perfumes, if you don't like spicy perfumes that are too ambery, for instance, which I tend to rub up the wrong way against, then I think this is a really fun one. I got this from Amazon, and I mean, it's just a lovely, soft, spicy, slightly festive smelling, fruity perfume that does not at all match this bottle. This doesn't smell pink at all. It does smell more kind of yellow to orange tone in the way it smells, if that makes any sense. The pink and the cherries is just so misleading. But yeah, it's a really nice perfume. Really, really nice. I wonder if I could take the cherries off. I mean, I'm not going to, but I reckon you probably could pull that off. But yeah, I'm just going to leave it because it's fine. It doesn't come with a lid, which I don't love, but it's good. All right, where's the little sample? So I'm going to have to check how long I've been talking for, because I reckon I'm going to just be... Oh my goodness, right, I better get cracking. So, I can't even remember what made me wear this, because I've just washed my hair today with a my banana co-wash from Lush, my banana conditioner. The point is, I don't know why I was thinking about this perfume, but I decided to try it out again. This is one of the other and fragrances from the sample set I got. This is Sand, and I'd sort of forgotten about it, but my thing about lovely banana perfumes, this is a banana and sandalwood perfume, and it's bloody awesome. And it's gone straight into my I mean, I already knew I liked it, right? There's a couple of the and fragrances samples that I gave away, like as little freebies when I was selling perfumes, particularly when I sell Lush perfumes. If I've had and fragrance ones, I chuck them in with that. So the patchouli one wasn't any good for me, and there was maybe another one that I wasn't too mad about. And Mad, the interesting vanilla one, I just had loads of samples of that because when I bought other things, I got free samples, so a lot of the time they were Mad. So anyway, so I've been giving stuff away, but the ones I kept one Mad sample. I kept the Tonka bean called Bean. I kept that one. I kept Bear, which is the one that I think smells a bit like vanilla Christmas trees. And I kept Sand. And Sand was the one that I was like, I think at some point I'm probably going to get at least a 10ml of this because it's fantastically banana-y. Now, the notes in this are banana in the top, mid notes of cardamom and black pepper, base notes Australian sandalwood, benzoin and labdaman. And it smells, I'm trying to think, so like the sandalwood, like the Adam Levine perfume. I got rid of that one because it was a little bit too ambery, spicy, strong sandalwood for me. I loved the marigold note in that, but I just wasn't wearing it. I just found it a little bit overwhelming. So I didn't love it. And then also the Kayali, the sandalwood coconut one that she does, that again just went a little bit chemically for me and it was a bit too much. But that kind of yummy, warm, cozy sandalwood is what I'm talking about with this. But it has like a banana candy smell in it. And there's a tanginess here as well, which I really enjoy. Like, I'm pretty sure there is at least some kind of fruit in here. There is something about sand that also reminds me of Frank, which is I think it's lime and mango in Frank with olibanum. So it's just, or like, oh, well, frankincense, like, so that's why it's called Frank. And I have a 10 ml of that as well. But I loved wearing this one. This was so fun because it smells like, it's like they took a quite serious, very dry, spicy sandalwood scent and put this really fun, fruity, slightly bubblegummy banana note in there. Now, I also do think that I go through a little phase when I first spray this one. I get loads of banana, but I also get something that reminds me a bit of a Thai curry, like specifically a creamy Thai curry. Those are the kind of vibes that I get from the spices here at first, and then that goes away. And I just love it. I just love, it's like, it is like tangy banana in a beautiful sandalwood perfume. So that has gone straight onto my wish list. I will be getting at some point, maybe. Yeah, I don't know that I need a bigger one, although I would be interested to compare the Eau de Parfum to the Eau de Toilette. But we'll see. We'll see. If they ever have like a good deal, maybe I would get the 50 ml of the EDT, but probably I only need the 10 ml because I'm still working through my Frank, and I've got a 10 ml of that. So yeah, sand is so good. Like, if you love a natural sandalwood scent and you like the idea of having like a tangy, slightly bubblegummy banana note in there, and honestly, the banana note kind of hangs around. Like, I've been impressed wearing it yesterday. I wore it yesterday. And you can see I didn't wear a huge amount of it. And I could really smell that banana. It was really making me smile. It's really making me smile. Just really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, that is Sand from Anne Fragrances. So I wore the double on Anne Fragrances this week. I'm glad that I've worn so many cheapies as well, because I have worn a couple of more expensive perfumes and a couple of like super indie house niche ones. So now let's talk about Lush. I went to Lush to smell the new perfumes. I'm going to have to get them up on the Lush site because I have put them into the forum on Fragrantica to ask them to add them, but I don't think they've been added yet. So let's go to Lush. All right, so shall we start with the things that I actually bought? All right, I've got to try and make space for these beasts now. So, Snowcake. So this is the perfume that famously Lush do say this is like a marzipan-y perfume. And I have had Snowcake in perfume form before, and I didn't love it, and I got rid of it. I sold it on. I wasn't keen. I wasn't really getting too much of a marzipan-y smell, but I'm trying to think of what the other one was called that it kind of makes me think of. There's another perfume from Lush that they did actually release in another one of their community limited editions that's kind of like powdery and has a cocoa powder note in it. And there's something kind of soft and sweet about that one in the same way that it is with Snowcake. And I'm not keen on that one either. But for some reason, this body spray has like a sparkling sugariness that I wasn't really getting from the Eau de Parfum version. And I don't know if this is like a different formulation or whether it just lends itself well to being in a body spray format, or of course maybe my tastes have just changed a little bit. I currently have Snowcake sprayed onto my little flowers, my little fake flowers in my room, and my whole room has for now like 24 hours been smelling like Snowcake. So the notes in Snowcake are vanilla, tonka, benzoin. What else have they got in here? Mimosa, that's the thing. Rose Absolute, Vanilla Absolute, Tonka Absolute, Cinnamon, Coumarin. But I think the Mimosa is what was throwing me off in the perfume. I wonder whether there's slightly less mimosa in this than there is in the perfume version. I do still think if you're looking for it, you can get mimosa. Now, if you're looking for a literal marzipan smell, this does not smell like literal marzipan. It just has a whisper of that sort of scent to it. It does smell like there could be like almond or heliotrope or one of those slightly almondy smelling things in here. But it's just a kind of sweet, soft, cute, slightly sugary smelling warm scent. And I really enjoyed it on my skin, so I just bought it, and I like genuinely thinking like I can probably sell this on easily if I decide I don't get along with it. I do quite enjoy it. It's not the kind of thing I want to wear out the house. It's a sort of thing that's very much like a at home smell for me. Very soft, very sweet, very nice. Really enjoyed Snowcake. That is I think a really good buy. But if you're looking for something that I think literally smells like marzipan, the only thing I've ever had that I genuinely think smells like marzipan is Demeter pistachio ice cream. As weird as that sounds, I do think it has almond in that perfume, and I think the almond smells stronger than the pistachio. You get the pistachio at the beginning and you get a real nutty feel, but then it dries down, and to me it just smells like a slightly creamy marzipan. So that's what I'd say about that. But I like Snowcake. Okay, what did I get? So then I bought a perfume as well. So let's take this out. We've got here Black Pearl. So I'm really going to have to squish everything up so I can get everything in. Let's put you there. So it's got this cool kind of green colour to it, which is really lovely. Let me just get the notes up. So Black Pearl. Aww. Oh, do you know? I mean, I tried this on my skin before I bought it, obviously, but I might wear this today. I'm smelling it, and it is absolutely my version of comfort. Like, it's a comforting scent to me. Zen-like, chilled, really, really lovely, just relaxing perfume. So this has lavender oil, it has frankincense, it has chamomile, it has myrrh. Let's see what else is in here, if there is anything else to mention. Coumarin. It's very specific, chamomile blue oil, which... So if you like Hungarian fronds, then you might like this one. If you like junk, then you might like this one. If you like shade, then you might like this one. I feel like this kind of smells like a bit of a mashup of all of those, but then with a little hint of something like the Comforter, because even though there is no berries in here, this smells like berries when it dries down. So it's like, yeah, so you've got the same kind of frankincense that they have in shade, which is one of my most zen and spa-like calming smells. You've got lavender, which is absolutely a classic Lush scent. That's also in shade. Then you've got the chamomile from the Hungarian fronds, but you haven't got the fennel, which is what my husband says smells like vegetables in that perfume. Like, he really doesn't like Hungarian fronds. I have 100ml bottle of it, which is upsetting that he doesn't like it. But anyway, I find that one very spa-like. But then it has this kind of juicy berry smell that comes through. Because I forgot to say, most of these are things that have existed before. So some of them are things that have existed as perfumes and have then like gone on to be in products. I think, in fact, maybe all of these, no, not all of them. A couple of them haven't been perfumes or body sprays before, but they've all been some kind of Lush product, even if they haven't been perfumes. Black Pearl, I think, is in a few products, and some people really don't like that this goes so fruity. I mean, I think it's like almost like a blackcurrant blackberry kind of smell the more it dries down, which I think is so yummy, because the Comforter I find a bit sickly. I don't really like the Comforter. There's something about, is it got like a piney or something smell in the dry down with like a slightly vanilla-y smell, which I really don't like, even though I love how that juicy blackcurrant smells. But with junk, you've got the kind of herbal qualities with a very juicy blackcurrant. But that's like a really eucalyptusy kind of mentholated smell. So if you like that if you like me, I have junk. If you like junk, but you want something that's like more soothing and less eucalyptusy, less menthol, Black Pearl is so lovely. Like, this smells so good on my skin. Classic Lush, sprayed it on. Unlike, like, Snowcake smells like Snowcake immediately and doesn't really change. It's pretty linear. Black Pearl, you spray it on, you get that lavender really hardcore when it first opens, and then you get all of the other kind of more herbaceous, more kind of floral notes, and then it gets softer and softer and prettier, and then you get that kind of berry scent coming through. I think this is Lush. I really, really like it. So very good news for me. Absolutely delicious. Now, let's talk about... I can still kind of smell this on here. This is the thing that smells strongest in my bag on my way home. Vimt-no. So this is a body spray. As you can see, this is a juicy, fruity beast. And I love this. This smells amazing. Vimt-no smells amazing, but it also smells so close to grape soda. It's not quite as grapey, but it smells so close to grape soda. It didn't really make any sense for me to buy Vimt-no, even though I liked it. Basically, I've got to have a budget. I can't spend like hundreds and hundreds of pounds on buying a load of Lush stuff. So I had to try and, be a bit more sensible about it. But it is absolutely Lush. It's juicy, it's fruity, it's fun. Lime, orange, blackcurrant, Divana. What else have they got? Anything else? That's pretty much it. I can still smell it. And the dry down, honestly, it kind of smells like it's been built on grape soda, but they've just added in like more fruits. I love it. I love it. I think it's so good. I really, really like Vimt-no. Let's see. And then let's just for balance do one that I don't like quite as much. But this one, I think other people would love this. So this is 2543. This is basically a classic Lush version of a sort of citrusy vanilla perfume. But because it is classic Lush, it's nowhere near as vanilla-y and citrusy as these. It's still got that very, I find, quite piercing kind of citrus oil smell about it that Lush perfumes like this have. But if you like Chelsea Morning, if you like Hairdresser's Husband, for instance, this is a really good way to get something that's very similar to Hairdresser's Husband, but does not cost a ton of money. If you like Super Milk, things like that, you might really enjoy this. This has, let me just scroll down, lime, lemongrass, Litsea cubea, and vanilla. And it's got some kind of benzoyl, benzate, some geraniol, some coumarin. Yeah. It had, I'd say the lemongrass is kind of an interesting smell, but I don't think it's dominant here. I sometimes wonder if the Litsea cubea causes me issues, because Lush do use that in quite large quantities. I'd say it's more citrusy than it is vanilla, but it does have a slightly creamy vanillic dry down. But it's still very, very citrusy the whole way through. If you wanted like a really light version of something like Super Milk, then this is the kind of thing. But yeah, definitely. I still have like I took a little decant of my Hairdresser's Husband before I sold on the full bottle because I wasn't really wearing it enough. And that is a very yummy citrusy perfume with a soft vanilla dry down. I think it really smells quite similar to this. So yeah, that's like £100 and something for a bottle, whereas you can get this for, how much is this? £35 for 200ml. Absolute bargain. So yeah, not for me personally, and I didn't really like it on my skin. I was still getting that real sharpness that I get sometimes from these kind of citrusy gourmand perfumes that Lush have been making. But anyway, let's move on to, let's do two that I'm considering maybe purchasing. So let's start with, I can't really smell this one anymore, even though it's a perfume. So Candy Rain. Let me just show you. I should have showed you all of these really, but there you go. Candy Rain. So Candy Rain is a conditioner. I have this conditioner, and this, I remember once getting into the car, or like my nephew got into the car after I just got out, and he said it smells like Auntie Cassie in here. Because by the way, my family are the only people who are allowed to call me Cassie. No one else is allowed to call me Cassie. That is just my family child name. So Candy Rain. This is very sweet. It's kind of creamy. The the hair conditioner stays, it's basically a hair perfume. It will stay in your hair until you wash it out. It's very strong. It can overpower any perfume you're wearing unless you're wearing a really dominant perfume. It's strong. So I kind of like the idea of getting the perfume so that I can, when I wash my hair with Candy Rain, I have a perfume that just matches up to it and I'm just wearing a perfume. And then I can top it up for the few days while after I've washed my hair. But it's interesting because the perfume version has a gourmand note in it that smells like biscuits to me, which I really don't like. It doesn't stay the whole wear. Eventually it dries down to smell like actual Candy Rain conditioner, but at first it smells like they've put something in that doesn't really belong there. It's not in the conditioner, that really smells like food. And I don't love that about the opening, but I did like the dry down. So I will have to consider whether I'm just going to get this and I just have to deal with how it opens. This has tonka, cocoa, buchu, which is some kind of antiseptic soothing thing. I don't know. Almond essential oil, coumarin, anything else, tonka absolute. Yeah, I mean, it's like a creamy, I feel like there is a slight fruity feel to this, but I don't really know what fruit I would say it was. It's just got something, it's not like flat, there's something a bit tangy going on with this, but yeah, I mean, I can't smell it on here anymore, but it's bloody strong when you actually spray the perfume, and the hair conditioner is an absolute beast. So I might get that one. And then the last one is Big BLue. Now, I think this is one that hasn't been a perfume before, but Big BLue is quite a famous bath bomb, I think, from Lush. I don't use bath bombs and stuff because I only have showers because we have a tiny bath. So I don't know what Big BLue smells like. I don't think I've ever smelt it before, and I don't think I've ever bought it for my husband. Like, he's happy to sit in a tiny bath with his massive long legs, kind of his knees under his chin, do you know what I mean? Because he's 6'3". So he's happy to sit in our little bath, but until we get a normal sized tub, I'm not doing it. But yeah, so I didn't know what this was going to smell like. So Big BLue, can I still smell this? This I think was the most subtle of all of them. Like I think Candy Rain, I'm surprised I can't still smell on there. I can still get a little bit of the Vimt-no, which was a beast, and a little bit of the 2543, and I did actually still have the Black Pearl thing, which I chucked away the other day, but I could still smell a bit of that on here. I can't smell Big BLue at all. I think it was very subtle, but what I could smell on my skin, I really enjoyed, and I'm pretty sure this is definitely one I'm going to buy for my collection, because I also think this is only 20 quid. Yeah, so for a 30ml bottle, it's £20, which I think is a bargain. So this is lavender oil, Palma Rosa oil, seaweed absolute, Sicilian lemon oil. Let me just check if there's anything else listed. What have we got? We've got the classic benzyl bentonate, coumarin again, always geraniol. So what is Palma Rosa oil? I see this sometimes and I'm never quite sure what it is. Oh, it's a type of grass. Okay. Sweet rose scented oil. How cool. Anyway, this is another one that I don't really know how to explain what it smells like, other than to say it smells spa-like and calming again. It doesn't smell like Black Pearl, but it does have that same kind of super chilled, calm day. You know, the same way that I wear like tea perfumes when I want to be zen. It smells like one of those. Black Pearl smells like a fruity version of one of those. And I do love a spa-like perfume. I just can't get enough. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to get Big BLue as well. I don't think the seaweed, like, it wasn't funky to me at all. But yeah, I mean, I'm just going to go in and get these at some point. My mum gave us a little bit of money. So I might put some of that towards... I'm definitely going to get Big BLue. I'm still thinking about Candy Rain. I need to go to store and try that one again on my skin and see how long that biscuity smell stays around for. But otherwise, I have to say, like, these, I think, are just classics. They are brilliant. They're really lovely. Snowcake is an absolute classic. It will be too linear and too sweet for some people for sure. Black Pearl is a proper Lush perfume. It really smells like a Lush perfume. It's got all the classics in there. It's got so many different elements of other perfumes that I like. Big Blue, classic. Candy Rain is a beastly sweet perfume. It's one of their earliest like super sweet scents. I feel like in terms of, it's the first time I used a product from Lush and I was like, holy hell, it's all I can smell on me. It's so strong, like an absolute beast. Um, Even more so because I did try American Cream and I never liked that conditioner. It didn't condition my hair enough. Candy Rain was the first one that I was like, that really conditions my hair. It's really nice. And Vimt-no is just like grape soda. 2543 just properly smells like a Lush perfume to me, but not necessarily my favourite type of Lush. They're like super citrusy ones. But yeah, I mean, they're all really good. I liked all of them. I would recommend all of them for different reasons. And I might end up with 4 of them. And if I had money to burn, I'd probably get Vimt-no as well. The only reason I'm not getting it is because I have this big old grape soda. So, you know, it would feel slightly redundant, I think, in my collection. But my God, I'm going to stop talking now, guys. This is going to be a really long video, this one, but, you know, worth it. I'm going to spray on some Black Pearl and I'm going to get on with my day. I'm filming this on Saturday morning and I'm going to have a lovely weekend and I will see you again soon. I can't even remember what I've got coming up. I've got so much stuff coming up this December. But yeah, let me know if you've got any of these. Let me know if you smelt the new Lushes. Let me know how you feel about Lira and Lira Dupes. Let me know if you've tried any of the stuff from And Fragrances because I really think they're a fantastic little house. And yeah, thanks again for watching. If you're not subscribed and you are happy to listen to me ramble on the way that I do and go on all the tangents that I do, please do consider subscribing. It really helps my channel. It makes a massive difference. Yeah, I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye.